He would.
Bill, you told me he fights with ego. I didn't see that much. Were you surprised?
Well, one thing that Devin does is he neutralizes anybody that he's in the ring with. I constantly hear this narrative about what fighters don't do and what they couldn't do on that night, but it's Devin and it's not the other fighter.
How was the flight home?
For me, it was like I was dreaming. Like I had a dream, and it was like I didn't want to wake up from the dream. I couldn't believe it that everything just fell into my hands on one night.
You dreaming now?
No, I'm here.
Peter Kambosos' manager, told me today that he fully expects his fighter to execute his option for a rematch back over there this week. Are you prepared to go back? Is there any scenario you think that you would not be going back there next?
I mean, honestly, we need to sit down with the team, my dad, Bob, Lou, and we're going to figure out what's next. You know, obviously, it has to make sense for me and my team, but I'm a true fighter. I'm willing to fight whoever, wherever, whenever. So if it all makes sense for me and my team, then we're ready to do it again.
Dad, you the boss. What makes sense and what doesn't make sense?
Well, anybody in the world. Devin is the undisputed champion. He's number one. All roads lead through him. And he's prepared and ready for anybody.
Is there any scenario that you wouldn't go back there?
We signed up to not only beat him once, but beat him twice. But like Devin says, that everything must make sense because from a business standpoint, right, it has to make sense all the way around the board.
You knock him out next time?
We'll see. You know, I know that he's going to come with a different game plan if we do fight again. So, I don't know. We got to see.
Let me run.
Devin Haney must do it again, and he has to actually fight against none other than George Kambosos. George Kambosos has initiated the rematch clause. That's what I'll talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Well, it's now official. Devin Haney has to fight Kambosos yet again. He has opted to utilize and enforce his rematch clause, similar to Anthony Joshua when he lost to Andy Ruiz Jr. You know, guys and fighters, they don't like to lose. Boom. You see on the screen, Kambosos activates rematch clause, and he says, I know I can beat Devin Haney. So he's under the belief that it was a fluke and, you know, it was all a bad dream. And he's decided to go forth. He says, yes, the rematch is happening. 100%. I have activated the rematch clause. This is what he said to News Corp. So I believe it's Australian media. Said the emperor is dead, but Ferocious is still alive, and I will be back. That's kind of a weird thing to say. The emperor is dead. He says, we haven't finalized the venue. There's options for Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. It will be in Australia, which is great. I know I can win a rematch. I will make some changes, and this is my destiny to show how great I am and get those belts back. I know I could beat Devin Haney. My confidence hasn't been broken. On the day, Ferocious wasn't at his best. I was just off a touch, but no excuses. He did what he had to do with his jab. He's a smart operator, but I have to be smarter with my game plan, and I am blessed to get that shot again. And not many Australian boxers can say that they've had 3 world titles in a row. I shocked Teofimo Lopez to win the belts. I lost them to Haney, but now I am working on a game plan to get the belts back, and I have the eye of the tiger again. I'm going to be the biggest name in Australian boxing. Tim can barely get crowds to his fights in Australia the last time I checked. When did Tim Tszyu fight in front of 41,000 fans at a packed stadium? He can barely get 10,000 to his fights. It's small-time stuff. I'm very happy for the critics who bag me and doubt me. I'm very happy with my life. No one can take away the facts. I made it to the top. I conquered the world, and I'll be looking to get those belts back from Devin Haney in the rematch, end quote. So this is what George Kambosos had to say.
Run through some of these other names, people.
I do feel like, you know, once I beat you the first time, after 12 rounds of fighting with you, I feel like I know you. So I know what he has and I know what he hasn't. So I think the second fight will definitely be worse.
So Devin Haney, this is what he said to ESPN. He said this the night of Edgar Berlanga fight. He said that I got 12 rounds, got to look at him for 12 rounds. So I feel like I have a good understanding of who he is, what he can do, and that kind of thing. So I want to know what you guys think. Kambosos activates the rematch clause and Devin Haney must fight him again. That was what he signed up for. My honest opinion, I'm not too thrilled with the news. Like, I think, and this is nothing against Devin Haney, but I think we got to get to a space of boxing where there has to be some kind of way to write in a rematch clause, but then if the fight looks a certain way, void the rematch clause. You see what I'm saying? Like, I understand for the safety net of it, you want to write a rematch clause, but when you lose 12 rounds out of 12, do we really have to go through a rematch clause? When it's such a decided and discerned victor. There were really no one that had an intelligent argument that I've seen that really gave Kambosos many rounds. Kambosos himself, he didn't really protest or make it sound like he was robbed. It wasn't a good showing. And I just feel like is really a holdup to the remainder of the sport of boxing when we have to keep going back to these places to see a fight where we really had a clear-cut winner, people. You know what I mean? I understand Kambosos gave him an opportunity, but when you lose one-sided, do we really have to see it again? You see what I'm saying? I don't know that I actually agree with that. The other thing is, and I understand rules are rules, and this is what Devin signed up for, but the other thing that's weird to me is the fact that Devin Haney has to fight him in Australia again. How do you put up such a miserable performance and then you got to go back to his home turf? Like, again, Devin Haney, credit to him because he was willing to take the fight with all these strict and stringent clauses and attachments to the contract, but it seems a bit unfair for him to have to go to Australia again. And one of the judges had given Kambosos 4 or 5 rounds, something like that, and I thought he lost every single round. So that can become very problematic and dangerous if the fraternity of boxing and the powers that be want to get some get back. Because now if Kambosos, he has a certain style, he's going to try to fight Devin Haney a little bit different because he was controlled by the jab. So now if he takes more chances and tries to rough up Devin Haney and or makes the fight a bit closer, I understand Devin Haney says that he got a feel for him, so it's only going to be worse in the rematch. But you can't count somebody, a former champion, out all the way. So if he shades some rounds and makes them closer, this does become extremely dangerous for Devin Haney because they were already in a lopsided, one-sided beatdown. They were already trying to give Kambosos 4 or 5 rounds. So imagine if he's able to stay neck and neck with Devin Haney or hurt Devin Haney or create any moments, any like oh-ish moments for Devin Haney, then the scorecards could be definitely a problem. Because I didn't give him any rounds and they still found a way to give him 4 rounds. So if he improves by 10%, 15% his performance of what it was in the first fight, then who knows what them scorecards are going to look. So, that's what I don't particularly like. And then the fight happened in Australia. And then again, it just stagnates the division. We got a clear cut. The lightweight belt has changed hands so many times. He's also called out Gervonta Davis. So, there's other fights. Davis was called out before the Rolly fight. He says, after I get past Rolly, Devin, since you saying so much, I'll fight you.
What about Vasily Lomachenko?
I think that's a fight that's we would love to make, and hopefully we can make it in the future.
Could you make it either the next fight or the fight after?
Possibly. We don't know. Everyone knows, his situation right now, and I pray that, everything is all right with him, and we'll see.
I saw Tank Davis tweet before the fight, going into the fight, if you win, why don't we get together? How do you feel about that?
Well, we haven't heard much about that after the fight, so we don't know if he changed his mind or what.
Dad?
Absolutely. Like I say, Devin is ready and prepared for everybody in the world. Of course, we signed up for a second fight with George Kambosos. But, I mean, if it was a Tank Davis or a Lomachenko, no problem.
So those fights got to wait because Devin Haney has to run it back in Australia. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section and subscribe. And I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with a $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a Super Thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super Thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super Thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We work.